Good morning. It's a joy to be with you today. And I do have to tell you that this particular video has been extremely difficult for me to film. And I think I'm ready to finally do it. We're talking about relationships. And relationships and I have had a very checkered past. As you probably know, I was an only child. In fact, I still am an only child. I didn't have any siblings. And the people who were around me in my family were all older adults. So I learned a lot about how to be an adult and not a whole lot about how to be a kid, and definitely not how to be a friend. When we'd be on the street, because that's where we played, and let's say we were doing softball, I watched. I was very observant. I kept an eye on the people on the street because they all had brothers and sisters, and they all seemed to have these really tight relationships with them, and I didn't have that. And I wanted to know how to do this. And I thought I learned how. But what I found when I tried to do it was I was ridiculed, and people laughed at me. So I began to believe what my mother used to tell me about relationships, and that was build your walls tall and thick with very small arrow windows to be able to look through, because someone out there is going to stab you in the back. And that's what I firmly believed all through grade school, through high school, not so much in college, because I had roommates. I learned about how to live with other people and how to establish boundaries so that you could live with other people. I also learned that I was really, really, really good at being sort of a dorm mother. I had a dorm of young men who called on me whenever they got in trouble. So if they drank too much and needed a ride home, they called me. If they took something that gave them a really interesting trip, I oftentimes was called to downtown Minneapolis to figure out where they were and to get them home. Those aren't really relationships. They're not deep. You're not sharing anything about yourself in these relationships. I went on then to go into the military, and needless to say, other than at Fort McClellan, there were not a whole lot of women to develop relationships with and friendships with outside of the home of the Women's Army Corps. Now, when I was at WAC Center, I had a lot of really dear friends, individuals who had been in my basic training program and individuals that I got to know in the jobs that I did. Now, because you have rank issues, there are certain people that you aren't friends with. And generally, they're the people who outrank you, or they're the people who are below you in rank, like enlisted people. There was a very strong no-no about fraternizing with the enlisted staff. Now, I met my husband there, and I think you all know that he was one of 5 single male officers as opposed to 5,000 women. We've been together for 47 years. And it's a relationship that I cherish, and I work every day to make sure that it's strong and healthy. What I found was that command didn't really work. And as a leader, what I found was you have to have followers. Otherwise, you're not really a leader. Yes, you can lead yourself, but the whole purpose of leading is to lead a movement, to lead a group of people, to lead individuals who are going in the same direction you are, and to take them on the journey to get to that end result, that vision that you've seen for yourself. So I thought, look, this isn't really working, so maybe I should become more influential. Maybe I should drop the walls and see what happens. What I found was that I got too close. I made everyone a friend. I told them secrets about myself that my mother didn't even know. nor did my best friend, for that matter. This doesn't work either. When you bare your soul and you bare your heart, you wear your heart on your sleeve, the individuals who you are leading don't necessarily see any division between you and them. So when there's a deadline and you've been really clear that this is a deadline that must be met, oftentimes it's hard for them to see beyond the fact that you're a friend and that now you are, in essence, giving an order. And they come back and they go, I just didn't have time. I had too many other things. I needed to go to the spa. I needed to get my hair done. I needed to go out with my girlfriends and shop. I just didn't have time to get this done in a timely manner. And believe me, it's difficult to have those tough conversations when you're their best friend. They don't listen. They find themselves being betrayed, and they feel that you're not really a friend if you can't just let this go this one time. As a leader, you need to set those boundaries. Yes, you want to know your people. You want to get to know what's important for them, what motivates them, what visions do they have, what things do they love to do, what things do they hate to do. And you still must maintain those boundaries between you as the leader and they as your team. It's a tricky piece of business, but without it, you as a leader will not be effective. What I've learned is that I don't have to put up those walls. I don't have to listen to my mom who said people are going to stab you in the back. Instead, I know that if I open my heart and I speak my truth, that people will value that, and they will value the relationship that we build from that. And that's the most critical part of having relationships and electric allies to help you with your movement move forward. If you have comments, questions, would like to know more about the Awaken the Leader program, please do send me a private message, and I'd be happy to sit down and have that conversation with you about the program. Also, if one of the things you're challenged with is time, I'm doing a real quick 45-minute session on time to get you started on Awakening the Leader. Thank you, and see you next time.